everybody. Thanks for watching. Today's video is going to be about 4 steps you can take to increase immersion at your table. Let's just get right to it. Step number 1 is to talk with your players and make sure that everybody's on the same page, because there's different styles of play. Some people want a super immersive world with rich lore and intricate quests and funny NPCs. Other people just want to casually hang out with their friends, drink some beers, and kill some monsters. And either one is fine, but just make sure that you're all on the same page. Another part of talking with your players is ideally in session 0, but if not, whenever you can do it. Talk to them about trying to minimize any side conversations, staying in character as much as possible, and staying off their phone if they can. All of these things are just going to keep them into the fantasy without being pulled in back out to the real world, in and out. Kind of following these as best they can. Of course, things happen, but we'll keep them involved and invested, immersed in the game. The second tip is to use ambient music. This could be done in a couple different ways. You could have just something simple and generic, the Skyrim soundtrack a lot, or like Witcher. Just have that going in the background, just some kind of general music. Or you could have soundtracks for specific locations or battles. Music versus pub music versus traveling through the woods or in the desert. Obviously that takes a little bit more planning, and you have to kind of know what your characters or the party's going to be doing. But just using music in general is going to up the immersion immediately. It's so easy to do. The third tip is to use funny voices or gestures for your NPCs. Don't feel intimidated. You're just hanging out with friends, like being funny, playing D&D. Like, that's kind of the point of it. You're just having fun. It's okay to be over the top and stereotypical. And if you do, it'll help other newer players who might not be as comfortable getting into voices and their characters. It'll help them be like, oh, they did that, and it was bad, but it was funny, and we all laughed about it. To kind of come out of their shell a little bit. And it's okay, it's really easy to tune out when every single NPC sounds like this. Whereas some of them sound like this, or some of them have a nice southern drawl. They remember characters easier, and just creates the world more so. The final step is use minis or combat grids or something, some physical representation for combat, because it's just theater of the mind is great and it's simple. You don't need anything for it, but it can be kind of hard to track and get immersed, because then you have nothing to focus on. Whereas when you use minis, you can visualize the game board more, or the combat scene. And this doesn't have to be fancy. You could use just paper, pencil, and like some pennies or little candies. They do make pretty cheap battle grids that you can dry erase. I would look into those maybe. But it doesn't have to be anything special. I've used chessboards before, or like literally sticks drawn in the dirt. Just something. Anything helps. But those are the 4 tips that you can implement immediately to increase immersion at your table. So thanks for watching, and you can read the full article at thealpinedm.com. Thanks.